This new world is nothing but fog, darkness and violence. I have murdered and killed more than I could count. I've been attacked and I've been hunted. This world is savage beyond anything I could have imagined. But the drive I have to always push forward and never turn back is so overwhelming. Because I know I will not stop until I've found and killed the scar-faced man. I know not even death will stop me. My determination to help Blake Abernathy and his family, though admirable, had seen me enter the lion's den. I was unaware of how these raiders worked on their own turf. They would not be the same unorganised rabble I fought back at the museum. This group knew this base well, and they would use that to their advantage. But my years in the service also taught me to secure my position before heading further into the den. I had found a good position to launch my attacks, and I had struck early, killing once before they even noticed I was there. I had just 2 exits from this room to cover, and I could pick them off through the narrow windows. But I also knew that once they'd found me, I was in for one hell of a rough time. And already I could hear the distant moans of the dead already rising up. At least it would be another distraction for the raiders. I continued to take shots at whomever I laid my eyes on, and with the support in the form of my 2 companions, we slowly, but surely, picked off the raiders one by one. Dogmeat was hurt. I could hear him whimpering and whining, but I was unable to get close to him, at least until I cleared the area, and that would be no small feat. But my luck would run out. It would run out sooner than I had hoped. They soon realised where the attacks were coming from, and they started organising their own retaliation. But where my luck had run out, my accuracy was getting better and better, and I was able to land my headshots whenever I needed them.
You can trust me. Scared, huh? You should be.
I could hear the taunts of one of the raiders. That was a mistake, and it showed me the lack of their training. If only he was silent, I would not known he was there, but I would be ready for him. I carefully scanned the area, looking through the windows at the large room beyond, looking for any clue about his position.
You turn up, you're dead.
But then there he was, the shouts giving him away before he even noticed me. I hid round the corner. Then when ready, I launched my attack. My attacks were strong and should have downed the man, but instead of dying, he seemed to become stronger, with an aura glowing around him. But then, in an instant, it all changed. The raider was being attacked by one of his dead comrades, and this gave me all the opportunity I needed. Another one of them making a stupid mistake in taunting me. I was starting to get used to all this death and killing. I should have wanted to run, but all I wanted to do was finish the job I started and kill them all. The zombies were starting to cause the raiders problems. I would hear the sound of the minigun being fired in the distance. But for the time being, the minigun was the least of my problems, as the dead raiders I just killed started to get up.
Keep your eyes open. I think this asshole's
Now I was having to deal with zombies and raiders. But I did not care. They would all die the same way eventually.
Only a fucking coward hides.
Think they're still out there?
This is probably a waste of time.
Just keep your eyes open.
As I approached, another zombie rose from the dead. A couple of shots done the trick. but also alerted the others to my position.
What the hell was that?
I came across Codsworth. He was not moving. He was showing some signs of life, but the damage he had taken was severe enough to stop his motor functions. I hoped he had gone into some sort of self-repair procedure. I had to leave him there for the time being and head further in. Happy that these raiders would no longer come back to life, I looted their corpses. Finding some interesting armour on one, the shin guards seemed to almost glisten in the dim light. I would go on to use this piece for such a long time. I think at least until I found the armour I'm wearing to this very day. I wanted to make sure the top floor was completely cleared before I went into the next room. I did not want anything to sneak up behind me. I wanted to be the only thing sneaking around here today. I had a nice collection of explosives and decided that I would get a Molotov cocktail ready, just in case the situation turned against me. I stepped into the new room, and there was no sign of life. There were corpses and signs of a fight with bullets littering the floor below, but everything was so quiet. Apart from the whimpering of dog meat below, I needed to get him back on his feet. On my way, I found another shin guard. This one also got my attention with a slight glow. I added that one to my collection also. Dogmeat, my faithful companion, now with the chemicals from the stim pack flowing through his system, he was soon able to get back on his feet. But also, with this, Codsworth voiced his approval. I was hoping his repair was successful and went to find him. But nothing had changed. I approached him and his eyes turned to look at me, but there was no more signs of life. I remembered something Sturgis had told me. I would need a robot repair kit. With the right parts I could possibly make one, but my best hope would be to find one, so I could get Codsworth back working again, and soon. I moved into the room at the bottom of the stairs, and turned it upside down looking for things I could use. But there was nothing of use, it was all rubbish. I emptied every container and opened every drawer. The raiders had been through this place. They must have moved anything of any use somewhere else. I needed to find this somewhere else, if I was to have any chance of getting Codsworth back up and running. I emptied every container and there was only one place left to look, but this was also the place the last of the raiders must be hiding. There was nowhere left for them to be. I peered into the room beyond. I could see someone with their back to me. I did not hesitate. I opened fire and killed them before they knew I was there. But by killing them, I also noticed one more. This one had access to the minigun, but also he knew that I was there.
No need to hide. It'll all be over soon.
As soon as the last raider walked around the corner, I opened fire. I needed to kill him before he got the minigun firing. Once again, my accuracy did not fail me, and I killed the last of the raiders. I started to explore the area, opening everything I could find in the hopes of finding a repair kit. While I was looking, one of the dead stood up. I got 2 clear headshots, but the zombie had protection for its head. But this would not be a problem. Dogmeat ran towards the walking corpse and set about ripping it to pieces. I knew the last raider corpse would turn soon, so I got a good look around, but was unable to find anything of use. Then it stood up, but I was able to put it back down even faster. And there it was, the locket that Blake asked me to return to him and his family. A sense of great achievement washed over me. I could return this to him soon, but first I wanted to find out what was behind this locked door.
That's it.
Rad roaches. As one jumped to attack me, I fired and must have ignited something in the room. The room filled with flames in seconds, and then slowly died down. The fire though did not kill everything, leaving me a few roaches to take care of. One of the buggers caught me off guard and managed to get a bite in. I could feel the pain straight away. I did not want the risk of getting a bad infection. That could be a death sentence in this world. So I swallowed some antibiotics and hoped that would take care of the illness. The last radroach crawled out from under a skeleton and ran towards me. I made short work of it. The only thing I found in this room was a single key with a tag attached to it just saying Intel Room. I hoped this was the room I found when entering the bunker.
Terminal should open this.
The room had a safe, and with my skill in lockpicking improving, I soon had it opened.
Nice.
It was full of ammo. I grabbed all I needed and moved on. I found a US Covert Operations Manual. I flicked through some of the pages. This had some good insights into remaining undetected behind enemy lines. I knew I could learn something from this, so I put it in my bag. A large trunk at the end of the room was overflowing with items and ammo. I grabbed everything but soon found I would not be able to carry it all back. So I discarded all the items I did not think I would need. It was soon apparent to me, though, that I was not going to find what I needed to repair Codsworth. I had resigned to the fact he would have to stay here at least until I could find a way to repair him. I went to say goodbye. His eyes looked at me, and in an instant he knew what must happen. I headed out without him. With sadness flowing through me, I started to walk away. But then there he was, Codsworth. He was back and moving. I was so overjoyed to see him, my old friend.
Hey, Codsworth.
Shall I accompany you, sir?
Codsworth seemed upset that I was unable to repair him.
Yes, of course.
Right behind you, sir.
But I talked him round into staying with me, and then the three of us moved on through the darkness. It was nearly 3 AM, and we still had a long way to walk to get to 10 Pines Bluff. I wanted to get there soon, so I decided to make our way through the darkness. I would soon realise how dangerous that would be. This world was full of dangerous animals, and all of them were in their element in the darkness of night. We were lucky with the mole rat. It did not see me until I got the almost fatal hit in.
Hostile life signs.
One mole rat would not be a problem, but if we were to come across a pack of animals, and even worse get ambushed by them, this would be one short adventure to say the least. I hoped I would draw less attention with my light off, but this would leave me fumbling in the dark. I spotted one wild dog. This would not be good. Dogs were seldom on their own. This meant there could be a pack nearby. This was the worst news possible. We We could not get caught in the middle of a pack fighting for our lives in the middle of the night. We had to find a way round, even if that meant a large detour. But everywhere I looked, there was more of them, and they seemed to be getting closer. Another one blocked our route. I could not risk going through them. We just had to keep going around them and hope to find a way past soon. We were close to them now. They would soon be able to see us, if they hadn't already. We found a way around. The pack did not notice us, and we could see the lights up ahead. That must have been 10 Pines Bluff. I needed to calm my nerves and get some rest before talking to the settlers in the morning. I found a ruined house not far from 10 Pines. It was infested with rad roaches. But I was able to take care of them all. I could get a couple of hours of sleep in and rest till the morning. I only managed 2 hours of sleep. I really needed more, but sleeping the days away was not an option in today's world. I had things I needed to do. The settlers at first did not seem happy.
Take it easy. I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. We sent word with one of them passing traders, but honestly, I never expected anything to come of it. Most people don't put much stock in the Minutemen these days after Quincy. Bad business, that.
We're rebuilding the Minutemen from the ground up. We're the good guys again.
Glad to hear it. No question that things have been worse since the Minutemen fell to pieces. There's a raider gang that's been giving us trouble for weeks, stealing food and supplies, threatening to kill us all if we don't pony up. We know where they're coming from, but we can't go up against a gang like that.
Will you be willing to join the Minutemen once I've dealt with those raiders?
Well, we'll certainly give it a good long think. People have gotten used to not being able to count on you folks. It's not going to change overnight.
Corvega assembly plant. That is where she said the raiders were coming from. I had already managed to rid the world of one of the raider gangs. How much harder could these guys be? I knew of Corvega assembly plant, and I could see it in the distance. And at the time I was not scared, but I should have been. If the satellite station was the lion's den, Corvega was hell on earth. More raiders, more traps. This place would scar me forever. Thank you all for listening to my tale. Please like if you did and subscribe and comment below, or on Facebook or Twitter with all the links below. I am Shaun, insane in the game, and I'm trying to survive this horror after the fallout, and I hope to see you all in the safe zone.